You know that feeling? You're rushing through the airport security line. Your flight is already boarding. And then you see the agent pull your bag aside. Your heart sinks. But here's the thing. It's not the moment you should actually be worried about. The real turning point for your trip doesn't happen there. It happens thousands of miles from home, in a sterile foreign hallway, standing in front of a customs officer who does not look happy. That's when the questions racing through your mind suddenly get a lot more serious. Is that over-the-counter cold medicine in your bag considered an illegal drug here? Could the prescription medication that's totally fine back home actually get you detained or even deported? And what's your plan if your airline loses the one bag carrying your refrigerated insulin? That nightmare doesn't have to become real. In this guide, we're going to eliminate the uncertainty and give you a clear step-by-step strategy to protect both your health and your trip. Because by the year 2025, the rules for traveling with medication go far beyond the airport security lane. And not knowing those rules can wreck an entire vacation. So here's what I'm going to do. I'll break down the exact system you need, from liquid restrictions and security checkpoints to the international laws that can land you in real trouble. We'll also cover how to manage your doses across time zones and exactly what you should do if your medications ever get lost or stolen. Stick with me, because together we'll avoid what I believe is the single biggest mistake travelers make, and we'll uncover the one simple piece of paper that can save you from a complete travel disaster. Alright, let's get started. Before we talk about labels, liquids, or what airport security actually looks for, there is one rule above all the others. I call it the golden rule of traveling with medicine. Picture this. You finally land in Tokyo at Narita Airport, completely jet-lagged but excited to begin your dream trip. You head over to baggage claim, you wait and wait, only to discover that your checked suitcase took a side trip to Bangkok instead. And inside that bag, your heart medication. The same medication that keeps you alive, now sitting over 1,500 miles away, while you're stranded with only a 3-day supply in your pocket. And it gets worse. You've seen how often airlines force people to gate check carry-on bags these days. The overhead bins fill up, and suddenly your carefully packed carry-on disappears with a tag, heading straight into the cargo hold. You think you're safe because you brought it with you on the plane. But once it's gate checked, it can get lost just like any other suitcase. The statistics tell the story. Airlines mishandle about 7 out of every 1,000 bags. Sure, it sounds like a small number, but you absolutely don't want to be one of those unlucky 7 if your medication is on the line. Trying to replace a prescription abroad can cost thousands of dollars. And that's not even counting the stress of battling unfamiliar healthcare systems, new insurance rules, and local prescription laws written in another language. This is why I tell everyone, your personal item, the bag that slides underneath the seat in front of you, is officially your medicine safe. That one bag never leaves your sight. No gate agent can make you check it. No baggage system can send it to the wrong city. Following this single golden rule will prevent 90% of medication disasters before they even begin. Now imagine this. You walk up to airport security in New York with your neatly organized weekly pill box. You feel proud of being so prepared. The TSA officer glances at it and waves you through in seconds. Perfect, right? Wrong. Fast forward a few hours. You've landed in Frankfurt and suddenly you're surrounded by 3 German customs officers. They're staring at your container of loose white pills. Your confident explanation about being well prepared falls flat when nobody can verify what those unlabeled pills actually are. And here's the trap that security in the United States never warns you about. TSA agents are trained to look for bombs and weapons, security threats, not drugs. On domestic flights, they'll almost always assume your medication is legitimate. But foreign customs officers, their training is completely different. To them, your pill organizer looks less like organized traveler and more like suspicious drug trafficking. Every customs official in the world is told to treat unmarked medication as potential contraband until you can prove otherwise. That proof only comes from the original prescription bottles. Those labels show the pharmacy, your doctor's name, the medication name, and prescription number, all things customs officers can actually verify. Without those, your word means nothing in a foreign legal system. So here's the bottom line. Think twice before putting your pills into a weekly organizer for any international trip. It may be perfect for Florida, but the moment you land in France, it becomes a giant liability. You're at the checkpoint in New York, holding a bottle of prescription eye drops. They cost $200 and are larger than the 3.4-ounce limit. The agent points toward the trash bin. You assume you have no choice? You're about to throw them away. Stop. Don't do it. You are about to toss perfectly legal medication that you have every right to carry on board. Here's the secret most travelers never find out. The TSA medical liquid exemption completely bypasses the 311 rule. That means no size limits and no quantity restrictions for medical liquids. Yes, that includes liquid prescriptions, insulin, contact lens solution, and even medical gel packs for cooling devices. But here's the catch. Most TSA officers will never mention it unless you bring it up. The process is simple, but you have to follow their system. Step 1. Separate your medical liquids from your regular toiletries before you even walk up to the checkpoint. Step 2. When you reach the officer, declare them immediately. Do not wait for them to find them. Just say out loud, "I have medical liquids I need to declare." Step 3. Be ready to explain what each liquid is and why you need it. The number one mistake travelers make is trying to sneak these bottles through hidden among their shampoo and toothpaste. That only raises red flags, triggers an intensive search, and causes unnecessary delays. And here's how to make it even easier. You can request a visual inspection instead of sending your medical liquids through the scanner. TSA is legally required to honor this request. That gives you full control over how your medicine is handled. Now picture this. The officer pulls your insulin syringes out of your bag and holds them up for everyone in line to see. In that moment, you feel every eye staring at you. The irony is brutal. You're carrying those needles to stay alive, but now you're worried they might cost you your flight. Here's the truth. Airlines ban sharp objects because of weapons, but they always make an exception for medical necessity. The key that saves your syringes? They must travel together with the actual medication. A bag full of loose needles and no insulin bottles is a major red flag that will always get you pulled aside. Insulin pumps and continuous glucose monitors add another layer of complexity. On an X-ray screen, these devices can look suspicious, which almost always means extra screening. The fix is simple. Be proactive. Before your bag even goes through the scanner, let the officer know what devices you're carrying and exactly where they are in your bag. Want professional help with this? Use the TSA Cares program. It's a free service for anyone with a medical condition. Call them 72 hours before your flight and they'll arrange support at security to make your screening smooth and stress-free. Most travelers don't even know this option exists. At the end of the day, it all comes down to communication. Being transparent prevents problems. Being secretive creates them. Your medical devices stop looking unusual the moment you openly explain what they are. Now imagine this. A traveler gets arrested at Narita Airport in Tokyo for carrying Sudafed. In the United States, it's an ordinary decongestant you can pick up at any gas station without a thought. In Japan, it's completely banned. To them, Sudafed is treated like a controlled substance. This kind of story happens far more often than you think. Here's the dangerous mindset. We assume prescription drugs are heavily regulated, while over-the-counter medications are completely safe. So travelers spend hours researching their heart medication or blood pressure pills, but they never stop to question their harmless-looking cold medicine or sleep aid. And that's the blind spot that gets people into serious legal trouble. Take a look at the details. In Japan, pseudoephedrine is banned. In the United Arab Emirates, any medication with codeine counts as a narcotic, meaning something as basic as Tylenol 3 could land you in prison. Several countries also restrict diphenhydramine, the active substance in Benadryl. Why? Because in those countries, these common ingredients are seen as precursors for manufacturing illegal drugs. The bottom line, what's perfectly safe at home can become a criminal offense abroad. Every single medication you pack, no matter how ordinary it seems, needs to be checked against the laws of your destination country. That label, over-the-counter, means nothing once you travel internationally. And pleading ignorance won't protect you inside a foreign legal system. You walk confidently through customs in Rome. Your medications are neatly packed in their original bottles, each one clearly labeled. You've done your homework. Yet, instead of waving you through, the officer sets your bag aside for extra screening. 20 minutes later, you're still answering questions while other passengers breeze past you. So, what went wrong? Having your medication in its original container is just the foundation. It's step one, but internationally, it's not enough on its own. The real solution is what I call the documentation trinity: original pharmacy containers, copies of your prescriptions, and a formal doctor's letter. That doctor's letter is your game changer. It's what separates a traveler who looks suspicious from a traveler who is simply well prepared. But here's the catch: not just any note will do. The letter needs to be on official letterhead, with a clear medical reason for each medication, specific dosages listed, and full contact information for your doctor, including an after-hours phone number. A casual form from a walk-in clinic won't cut it. Want to go one step further? Get the letter translated if you're visiting a non-English speaking country. Medical terms don't translate cleanly in phone apps, and a poor translation can create even more confusion at the border. The difference in treatment is night and day. With proper documentation, you're seen as a prepared patient, not a suspicious traveler. Customs officers can spot true preparation from a mile away. Now imagine you land in Singapore and you're carrying your routine ADHD medication, the same Adderall you've taken for years without issue. Before you realize what's happening, airport security escorts you into a small, windowless room. They explain that your medication is completely banned in their country. Suddenly, what was part of your daily health routine is being treated as a potential criminal charge, with prison time attached. This is the nightmare scenario that so many travelers never see coming. Medications that are considered standard treatment in the United States can be viewed as illegal narcotics in other countries. The highest risk categories require extreme caution. ADHD drugs like Adderall and Ritalin are banned outright in Japan, Singapore, and several Middle Eastern countries. Anti-anxiety medications such as Xanax or Ativan often require formal permits. Strong painkillers containing codeine or tramadol are always restricted as controlled substances. Even common sleep aids like Ambien fall under narcotic laws in multiple countries. And here's the real challenge: some countries require official permits months in advance. Singapore might allow a 30-day supply if you have every document approved, while Japan will prohibit certain medications entirely, no matter what paperwork you bring with you. So here is a non-negotiable rule. If you take a controlled substance, you must get approval from the embassy of your destination before you travel. Never assume it will be fine just because it's legal at home. Your prescription status means nothing once you cross that border. Let's move to the security line again. Picture yourself fumbling at the checkpoint. You're digging through 3 different pockets to pull out your medication, mixed in with toiletries and buried under clothes. Your prescription papers are nowhere in sight. That chaos signals disorganization to the officers. And nothing invites a longer inspection faster than appearing disorganized. The fix is simple. Create a dedicated medical kit. Use a clear quart-sized bag only for your medications and your documentation. This instantly sends the message: you're organized, not hiding anything. Apply the buffer principle. Always carry more medication than you think you'll need. Flight delays, cancellations, and last-minute changes happen constantly. Running out abroad turns into an expensive, stressful emergency. A solid rule of thumb is to pack at least 150% of what you expect to use. And don't stop there. Build a backup documentation system. Layer 1. Physical copies of your prescriptions and your doctor's letter in your kit. Layer 2. Digital copies stored in the cloud. Google Drive, Dropbox, anywhere secure. Snap photos of prescription labels, receipts, and letters. Email them to yourself for easy access anywhere in the world. Here's the bonus. A neat, organized medical kit actually earns you respect. Officers check it quickly, because visually, you don't look like you're hiding contraband. Prepared travelers get processed faster and with less suspicion. You finally land in Tokyo after an 11-hour flight. You're exhausted, and you have no idea when to take your insulin. Back home, you inject it at 8 in the morning and 6 in the evening. But now it's 3 in the afternoon in Tokyo, and to your body, it feels like the middle of the night. Do you stick to your home schedule, or do you switch immediately to local time? This is where things get complicated. Time-sensitive medications don't magically adjust like your phone's clock. Insulin depends on your meals and sleep schedule, not just the wall clock. Blood pressure medications work on a 24-hour cycle, and shifting too quickly can create gaps or dangerous overlaps. For most travelers, the safest strategy is a gradual adjustment. Shift your dose times by 2 or 3 hours per day until you're aligned with local time. Some simpler medications might allow an immediate switch, but others, like heart treatments, anti-seizure drugs, or psychiatric prescriptions, can trigger real medical emergencies if the timing is off. There are even smartphone apps, like MedSafe and Pill Reminder, that help you recalculate dosage times across time zones. But remember, an app is not medical advice. Always talk to your doctor before you travel, especially if you rely on critical medications. Now picture this. You leave your medication in the glove box of your rental car in the Arizona sun. After a few hours, panic hits. You realize your insulin might be ruined. Any insulin exposed to temperatures above 86 degrees Fahrenheit can lose its effectiveness or even become dangerous. The same goes for growth hormones, certain vaccines, and other medications that require refrigeration. That's why managing temperature isn't just important, it's critical. TSA allows cooling packs and insulated medical cases through security. But here's the key: always declare them. Use gel packs designed for medical use, not regular ice that melts into a mess. There are even temperature monitoring strips you can pack to confirm your medicines have stayed safe. Hotels are another part of the equation. Before you book, confirm with the hotel that you'll have access to a working refrigerator. Ask about backup options if the in-room unit breaks. Many hotels will even store medication at the front desk for guests who need it. Pack extra cooling supplies in case of flight delays, and research 24-hour pharmacies near your destination as a safety net. Now imagine the worst-case scenario. Your bag gets stolen at a cafe in Rome. Inside were 2 weeks' worth of medication. Suddenly, you're standing on a foreign street at 10 at night with nothing but your passport and your phone. Your blood pressure medicine runs out tomorrow morning. Panic sets in. Most travelers don't realize how quickly this can spiral into a crisis. Missing just a few doses of heart medication, insulin, or psychiatric drugs can create a life-threatening emergency in a matter of hours. Your first call should always be to the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. They maintain 24-hour emergency lines and can connect you with English-speaking doctors and local hospitals that accept American insurance. They'll also know which pharmacies can legally fill an emergency prescription for a foreign visitor. This is also where travel insurance matters. A good policy can save you thousands of dollars. Most plans cover the cost of replacing lost prescriptions, and stronger policies even include emergency medical evacuation if local care isn't enough. Communication barriers only make emergencies harder. That's why it pays to prepare in advance. Download a good translation app and save a few essential phrases in the local language. Even better, print out a medical card with your conditions and medicines translated before you leave home. And this is what transforms chaos into control: a complete backup system. Digital copies of prescriptions, your doctor's letter, your insurance details, all saved safely in the cloud and emailed to yourself. That preparation turns disaster into a manageable problem. So here's the truth that catches thousands of travelers off guard each year. Getting through TSA back home doesn't mean you're ready for international rules. That easy pass through domestic security creates a false sense of confidence. Because once you land, your perfectly legal medication can instantly become suspicious, or even criminal. But with the right preparation, the entire experience shifts. When you research foreign laws, pack your original bottles, carry a proper doctor's letter, and create a real backup plan, everything changes. Instead of stress and fear, you build confidence and consistency. Travel smart. Start preparing today. Research the rules for your destination, gather your documents, and assemble your medical travel kit. Follow this process, and you protect not just your health, but your entire trip. Safe travels.